Hey YouTube, how's it going? I have a different video today. If you guys did not know, I started broadcasting last year during the MLB The Show's competitive season, and I'm doing it again this year, first of all. But two, one of the new things I wanted to do with MLB The Show this year was do some showcases. Give me a chance to broadcast again and give you a chance to watch some of the top competitive players in MLB The Show. And today, we spared no expense. On one hand, you have Kreiner, the winner of the Fall Circuit last year, one of the best players in the community, a phenomenal dude and a great player, going up against his friend Weens, who is considered the #1 hitter in MLB The Show, and you're going to find out why in this video. He was the winner of the first ever Dynasty Invitational, a $25,000 tournament that I got to cast day one of, which I was very excited about. But I'm excited for all of you to enjoy this gameplay. This is completely unedited. This is the whole game from my stream that I just ran a little bit earlier today. All of this will be on like TikTok and other places too, but also make sure you sub to the YouTube channel. Trying to put out as many videos as possible, and subscribing means a lot. Also liking the video so this goes out more obviously than watching it. You guys know how YouTube works, but I appreciate the support leading up to MLB 22 from 21 and so far this year, and I'm looking forward to all the more things that we can do as well. But without further ado, the first Thuuuuney showcase of the year between Kreiner and Weens. Enjoy. But with all of that out of the way, the first showcase of the year is underway between Kreiner and Weens, and you guessed it, they're playing at Ship It. So one of the things that I talked to Kreiner and Weens about was, with Ship It's elevation being nerfed, are we maybe going to see a change of stadiums this year? What's the plan with that? And they both really said that they're going to see how it plays to start, and then after that find out, you know, what they like, what they dislike. Laughing Mountain could become a big competitive stadium later this year, but we are underway here at Ship It as Walker Buehler delivers a fastball off the plate 1-0. And like I mentioned, both teams will be using standard teams in the game. So as that one's fouled off, Weens is pitching. Kreiner is batting using the Blue Jays. And a 1-1 count here. Slider off the plate just gets the call. Now 1-2. And Pinpoint saw some changes this year. And we've really seen it in the tech, or not the tech test, the game itself so far. Yeah, mods, if you want to put a prediction on, I'd appreciate it. Any mod putting a prediction on, thank you, thank you. But 2-2 count. That pitch is inside to left field, and now we already have questions. Would that have been gone at yesteryear's Ship It? MLB 21 Ship It, who knows? But MLB 22, take a look at the feedback there. Again, no PCI feedback this year, so that'll be interesting when we're looking at calling games in the future. But Walker Buehler, a guy that I really enjoyed using last year, he features a cutter, and when we're talking about competitive MLB The Show, the two pitches that we love to see are cutters and sinkers, and that one rallied to right field by Bo Bichette. Absolutely scorched. That might have been a perfect, and it was. So that 68 power coming into play on Bo Bichette there, and we quickly have two away, and Vlad fouling that one off, now 0-1. So I mentioned this is a 9-inning game of legend difficulty in a friendly for both these guys. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. 0-2. And with the check swings, man, I have really noticed in the early parts of playing the show myself that, and there's a check swing right there that goes the other way. So that kind of goes against my point, but check swings feel like they're a little bit harder to do this year. It's harder to foul pitches off the plate more, and we'll find really out how all that factors into the game today. But our first run is on the board. It's the potential front runner for the American League MVP. It's Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and out to an early lead will be Kreiner. Nobody on, two away. Number 3 hitter Vlad towers one out to left center field right after we saw a perfect line out to right with Bo Bichette. So Walker Buehler, that one tied on the hands. Will he have a play? Bets down the line. Will not get there. 0-2. Teoscar Hernandez, a very powerful bat who had a phenomenal 2022, will be smoked by the fastball upstairs. But before we get to the bottom half, a showcase of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Solo shot out to left field, and a 1-0 score as we head to the bottom half of the first. Trey Turner and Jose Barrios, and we'll give a little bit of time to talk about these two gentlemen here while we let the game go on, and I will get me out of the way for a bit and just kind of be audio in the background here. So Jose Barrios, an interesting starter to use. Again, these guys are using their starting teams. They're not using their Diamond Dynasty teams. So the pitching won't be really what we can expect in the competitive season this year. Barrios, for example, not someone you really expect to see, but Trey Turner last year, whether it was his live series, whether it was his team affinity card, Trey Turner was arguably the most popular card in the competitive season of MLB 21, and he'll roll that one over to short. Fielding it is Bo Bichette, just getting Turner out for out number one here in the bottom half. And Mookie Betts, not someone we really saw last year. Mookie Betts was used by Baco. I saw a couple of the people using him as well. But, Mookie Betts features a very strong arm, great fielding, and a very good bat. And Jose Barrios, inside, roped into left center field. That'll be a base hit, finding a seam between the shortstop and the second baseman. So 1 on and 1 out. And now the new Los Angeles Dodger, I'm still not used to it either. Freddie Freeman will step in at first base. So Barrios pitches inside just off the plate 2-0. This is on Legend. The feedback will show in the first inning that it looks like it's really big, but this is on Legend, you guys. So 1 on, 1 away, Turner on deck, 3-0 count. Does he green light him? No, he does not. He went away. He probably stays away and looks to try and maybe work around him. Here he goes inside and misses with a sinker. And now 2 on, 1 away, Kreiner v. Weens. Justin Turner probably going to keyhole on something inside here. He gets something right on the outside half and lines it into center field for out number 2. That timing is such a big part of these games. If you sit back and then a little bit longer, if you let that travel, you can't play Legend in friendlies for real? Okay, I'll have to talk about that in a sec. But that one up the middle, that'll be a base hit. That run is going to score. And we're on the board with a 1-1 ball game for Weens here. So what difficulty is this on then? It said they played on Legend. PCI does look huge. I agree with that. But either way, it's a fun matchup of these two guys. We'll talk about that later on. But Will Smith to the plate here. 2 on, 2 away. The pitch is right down the middle, and that's sent to left center field. A 3-run shot for Will Smith. And the robot himself, Weeds, moves up to a 4-1 lead. And those beautiful uniforms of the Dodgers feature those blue on blue jerseys in the pants, and Will Smith, one of the best catchers in baseball, cracks that one out to left center field, and Jose Barrios is already having a rocky first inning. And you see one of the new features of MLB The Show this year, our win expectancy, as that one's chopped to first and that'll end the inning. Fun loop there, but 82% odds to win. Looking at Weens, and through the first inning of our first showcase of the year, a 4-1 score as we head to the top half of the middle of the order to begin with Lourdes Gurriel. So if you're jumping in and you're like, hey, Mr. Streamer Guy, I've never heard of MLB The Show competitive. What does it look like? What can I expect to watch this year? And first of all, you're watching two of the best players in MLB The Show in Kreiner and Weens, duking it out together as that one's ripped foul down 1-1. But last year we had the fall circuit and we had qualifiers leading up to that point. We had the summer circuit with qualifiers leading up to it as well. And it was all headlined by the biggest tournament that MLB The Show has ever run, a $25,000 tournament that Weens was the beneficiary of, as he ended up winning that whole tournament. And that went out to left field and we'll have one away. And Kreiner on the opposite side won the fall circuit. So again, a lot of pedigree between these two batters. I say batters because, when you think about MLB The Show comp, there is some separation with pitching, but sometimes guys are just unbelievable at hitting the baseball. And that one out to the picnic area here at Ship It, that'll be yet another one on the board there for Matt Chapman. And now a 4-2 game, and Buehler off the plate. That one out to right center field. Mookie should have a play, though. Gonna get under the ball, and he will, and we have 2 away. And we have Weens and Kreiner again, reminding you Kreiner is batting right now. One of the things I'll do for the next time we do this is I'll have an actual graphic on the screen that shows who's batting and who's pitching. But we have nobody on, 2 away. And that one off the plate just inside, now 1-0. And Kreiner trying to get back in this ball game, but these two are really good friends. And again, I mentioned I'm going to be bringing it up the whole stream. They're two of the best comp players in the community, and that one dribbled over to Turner should have a play. That bronze defense doesn't matter there, and we'll head to the bottom half of 2. But before we do that, Kreiner answers the home run of his own. New Toronto Blue Jay Matt Chapman out to left field, and now Chris Taylor in the bottom of the order will bat here in the second. And an interesting thing will come up here, because in the actual majors, is that one's out to left center field that should be playable, and it's actually going to land over into the I had a trip on my words there. Actually lands on the warning track and ends up being a ground rule double. So a leadoff double for Chris Taylor. Thought that ball was actually going to find a glove there, but with a runner at second, you now notice that Cody Bellinger will come up to bat. We have the DH in Major League Baseball this year, but it looks like in Diamond Dynasty, we don't have it. So very interesting to see how that'll play into yet another year of comp MLB The Show. But runner at second, leadoff man was Chris Taylor. Cody Bellinger, who had a rough spring, will have another rough at bat there and weakly fly that out to second. And with 1 away, we'll go back to the top of the order here for Weens and Trey Turner, who I mentioned outside of Jarren Duran, outside of Mike Trout, outside of Jacob deGrom, was one of the most, if not the most highly used card in the competitive scene for MLB The Show, and that one will land in front of the wall for a base hit. Rounding third being sent home. There will not be a play at the plate. It'll be an RBI double for Trey Turner, and Weens moves out to a 5-2 lead. And as CC brings up in the chat, if you want to predict who you think will win the game between Kreiner and Weens, you have a couple minutes left to do so. Thank you for CC bringing that up. And now Mookie Betts off the plate, 2-0. He's going to weigh. Now, you think he maybe goes inside. I think he stays away here on 2-0, and he does, and that was rifled into right field on a perfect. That'll be a base hit, and it's muffed in right field by the right fielder. One of the new features of the game this year, it seems. That on perfects, if you don't have that elite defense, you're going to pay for it. And that one, normally in MLB 21, could have been seen as just a little base hit, but it ends up being an RBI single and a big one. At that is on the very next play, a double play ends the inning. A 6-4-3. And getting a run back is Weens as we head to the third in a 6-2 contest. Here comes, for whatever reason, the comp community favorite, Danny Jensen. One of my favorite guys to watch. Zazzy loves to rock Danny Jensen. At least he did last year. That one out to the warning track should be playable, and it is. And we have 1 away. Cody Bellinger retiring that ball on the warning track. And now the top of the order comes back up in George Springer. Springer, one of the many stars that came into Toronto, and if you look at the Toronto roster from 2 or 3 years ago to now, really impressive. To me, one of the teams to be in the American League this year, arguably one of the best batting orders in baseball. They added a lot of talent in the pitching room as well, in the staff, in the bullpen with Yusei Kikuchi. You already have the talent of Hyun-Jin Ryu there. They add Jose Barrios, the former Twin, as well. But now Walker Buehler on 2-2 throws this away, and Springer will watch that land right on the black. Good pitch there, and we have 2 away, and now in comes Bo Bichette. To many people, consider one of the future faces of baseball in Bo Bichette. Will rip that one over to short. Turner will retire his opposite number from Toronto, and will head quickly to the bottom half of the third, a 1-2-3 inning. Not going to get too many of those this game. 4, 5, 6, the heavy hitters coming up for Weens. Already 6 runs on the board. It might be 7, and it is. Justin Turner landing in front of the scoreboard in left center field. 7 runs for Weens on yet another homer. Weens is in the zone right now. And this is something that we saw a lot during the comp scene last year, that slider missing inside 1-0. That, I mean, Weeds is just universally considered one of, if not the best hitters of MLB The Show. That one looped into left field. That'll land for a base hit. Good piece by Max Muncy there. But no disrespect to Kreiner and no disrespect to a lot of other comp players as well. Kreiner, I've mentioned this a ton, one of the best players in the community as well. And with one on and nobody out, Will Smith, who homered already, will send that down the right field line, but it will be hooking just foul now, 0-2. So Barrios on pitch number 35 with nobody retired in the third will take a sinker off the black, 1-2. And that's one thing for people that are new to MLB The Show comp and you're wondering, hey, what really separates these top players from a Joe Schmo like me, if you do consider yourself a Joe Schmo? And you really need to take a look at the eye that these guys have. I mean, they lay off some pitches that are just right on the black that your normal player wouldn't be able to let go. That one down the line, that'll be a base hit for Will Smith, who's now 2 for 2. Landing in front of the wall, Will around first and heading to second safely, and we will have ducks in the pond with nobody out, and Gavin Lux and Chris Taylor looming, who doubled in his last at-bat, and we might be seeing Kreiner go to the bullpen here soon. He's hanging with Barrios. Backdoor Slurve gets the call. Great start. Slurve's a tough pitch to throw deeper in the count, so you might as well fool him and get the first strike in there. And that one chopped to first base. There will not be a play at home, but there will be an incredibly elaborate glove flick to first base there. So that'll count as an RBI ground out, and Weeds already up 8-2 in just the bottom half of the third. Barrios gets his sign. The offering to Taylor fouled off the plate there, 0-1. I talked about these guys having a great eye, and Weeds might have been looking for that slurve. And that one rifled down the line. That'll be a base hit. That might even be 2. Taylor rounding 1. He'll be in there standing. So Weeds getting aggressive to start the count, and then he says, you know, I'll take the tried and true perfect down the left field line. 1-12. Exit velo off the bat. Cody Bellinger down the line, hooking just foul. Now 0-1. Barrios gets his sign. That one fouled off again. 0-2. Man, Weeds' his bat looks as good as ever, and on 0-2, he'll let that one go, and this will be a great showcase, pun intended, of the eye of Weeds here. Look at that. Slurve right on the inside half. No problem. 2-2 count. Barrios offering to Bellinger in the dirt. 3-2. There is a base open, but danger looming in Trey Turner. The full count offering. Sent into right center field. That'll be a base hit. That'll score 1. Bellinger rounding first. He'll end up at 2. It's a party for Los Angeles at second base. They're trading places. An RBI double for Cody Bellinger. Hit number 11 for Weeds. Barrios stealing to Turner. That one rifled down the line foul. Weeds is all over it right now. That one gets the call in the outside half. Now 0-2, but you're not safe yet. Got to try to get Weeds out with Trey Turner, and that one's up the middle. That'll be a base hit. Will he send the runner? He will hold up at third, and we will have runners at the corners with one away, and in steps Mookie Betts, who's already 2 for 2 so far. Wondering why Kreiner hasn't thought about taking Barrios out of the game, who does now feature a sinker this year. It's very exciting. But on 0-1, Barrios, a good changeup floated off the plate, but not biting his Weeds. Now 1-1. Circle change, sinker. That one rifled to short, and a great pitch will move us into a 6-4-3 double play as we head to the 4th inning. Weeds out to a commanding 10-2 lead early. And some people watching might say, hey, wasn't that a good swing that Weeds had? His PCI was all over the ball, and it went right to the shortstop as that one's rifled up the middle by Vlad, his second hit of the day for a leadoff single. And with that, you really notice a lot more groundouts, as you should, on pitches that are out of the strike zone low. So a good swing put on by Weeds, but an even better pitch by Kreiner. He induces the inning-ending double play, and now he's going to try to get back in this ball game. And on the opposite side, Weeds obviously looking for that double play. Cutter in there now 2-1. Gonna look for sinkers low, maybe feature the knuckle curve low, and he's going back to that cutter. Good pitch. You know, you're expecting something else, so you kind of let that go. Now 2-2, and now here comes the double play ball. That one sent weakly into center field. Not exactly where Weeds wanted that to go. It ends up more on his hands, where Weeds wanted that to be a little bit below the kneecaps, inducing that double play ball. But now we have one on and one away, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who generates a lot of power, has, in my opinion, a very good swing. I loved his Player of the Month card last year. Community somewhat favorite. You know, not a card that people are going to say no to. But here on an 0-1 count, front door slider fouled off into the seats, now 0-2. Bueller for Weeds. Cutter off the black short center field again. And one of the things that I'm curious about as we look at this game is that what are the changes to ship it in MLB 22 compared to 21? Because I've seen some swings this game that would have also been a home run in 21. It feels like, you know, did ship it really change that much? Maybe it hasn't, but maybe it has. We've had a couple of swings that have been looking to be rifled. They really haven't gone anywhere. Like, there's another one there to the shortstop, and then it'll end the inning, and we'll head to the bottom half of the fourth, and Weeds is already 2 runs away from a mercy here. And I brought up in chat correctly, Shippett's new elevation is 1,200 feet, and this might be the demise of Kreiner to center field. Freddie Freeman, a solo shot. The new Dodger. 1 run away already from a mercy here for Weeds on a 420 blaze it home run to center field, and now Barrios will deal right down the middle for a base hit. Little bit behind the slurve there, but that one finds a hole, and now the potential winning run is already on for Kreiner, and now Max Muncy will bat, who's 2 for 2 so far today. He lets a fastball in there, 0-1. Kreiner might have to start looking to elevate some pitches here. Everything low, Weeds has really been on, and that's one thing Kreiner hasn't done too much this game, is throw those upstairs sinkers. That's a good fastball placement right there on 1-2. This is a great count to go upstairs. You're expecting something low, and there it is, but I guess Weeds was expecting it too. A walk-off 2-run shot. Welcome to competitive MLB The Show, and welcome to the greatest show in the game, Weeds, blowing out Kreiner in a mercy 13-2. Oh my gosh. CC and everybody, man, thank you for an explosive beginning to MLB The Show's comp scene. What a game between Kreiner and Weeds there, huh? Jeez Louise, dude.